Hello, today we're going to teach you how to do really super relevant personalization so you can start increasing response rates. Okay, this is not fake personalization, this is relevant, a real reason to reach out to somebody. Okay, and the example today is targeting event managers in companies between 200 to 500 employees. They're either reflecting on an event, they're in the middle of an event, or they're preparing for an upcoming event. And so if we can work out which group they fall in, which events are relevant and top of mind right now, then we can start reaching out with real relevance. So where do we start? Well, let's go to Apollo. We've scraped a list of event managers in the United States at 500 to 1,000 employee companies, B2B, okay, and we could do another list for B2C and things like that. So we've scraped that list, we've taken the top 3 people from each company, we've imported that into Freckle, and you can see we've got a list here. We've found emails, okay, and then we've got all the data carried across, and this is where it gets interesting. So we are building something called a relevance query. We're taking the inputs like company name, website, job title, department, company address, and the first step is to categorize, okay? Is this a corporate company? Is this venue management? Is this an event planner or event management? Is this higher education or is this other? And then once we know that, we can filter by group and again, relevant messaging, okay? And then what we're doing is event identification and filtering. So we're scanning all events from the last month all the way to the end of 2026. We're looking at ones that are flagship, we're looking at ones that are relevant to that persona, and then what we're doing is we're identifying what is top of mind for that person right now. If, say, they've just finished a big event, then they're going to be reflecting. If they're in the middle of planning an upcoming event in a month's time, then that's going to be top of mind. So we're determining what event is top of mind for them right now, okay? And then we're actually identifying that event. We're finding the name, the date, the month, and we're doing some further validation. Say, is this the right buyer persona? Is this event relevant to their role? Is this a flagship event, etc., etc.? And we can then filter. Okay, so you can see here we've got category, we've got top of mind category. So is it a recent event last month or a near-term upcoming event, 4 weeks to 90 days? Or is it an event that's 90 days out for the rest of 2026? There is another one for current event in the next 4 weeks. Okay, now for this list, let's say we want to target corporate companies. So we can filter on this column, type corporate, and here we go, some corporate companies. And we've got the top of mind category. We've got an event name, the event month, their champion. If they weren't a champion, if they're a decision maker, it'll come out decision maker. If they're irrelevant, it'll come out irrelevant. Is the event relevant or not? Okay, this one comes out as low. So this is saying role as event manager, but there's no verified flagship event organized by Lab Connect to be top of mind. Okay, so what we'd end up doing is then filtering out so that we only look at events that are high relevance. Okay, so this is more to do with their role. Does this person have a vested interest in the event in terms of metrics or responsibilities, things like that? We've got a justification, and then we're actually looking, is this a flagship event? Is this an event where you're going to need event software? Or is this like a tiny little conference or an internal event or something that's not relevant? So if it's true, we can filter out falses. Okay, and then we've got the event name. So then what we want to do is make sure it's spitting out the right outputs. So for example, this one is Sporting KC versus Columbus. So if we actually type that into the internet, Sporting Kansas City will kick off 26th season when the team travels to San Jose Earthquakes. Well, they're not going to be organising that event. They're going to be organising the one at their own stadium before returning to KC for the club's home opener against Columbus Crew, Feb 28th. So what we want to see is an event in February. Here we go. Sporting KC versus Columbus Crew for the home opener. There we go. Okay. And then who have we got? We have a senior event manager, right person. Okay. For Sporting Kansas City. Cool. So that event's good. Now let's have a look at another one. So eMoney Summit. Okay. And if we type that into Google, eMoney Summit 2026, we actually don't have a 2026 event coming out. It's 2025. Okay. So if we click on that, Monday, October 20th, so there's one in 2025. Okay. So if we now head over to the information for here, you can see it's put Q4 TBD because it doesn't actually know when it's happening, but it's likely going to be happening in Q4. So again, we can reach out with eMoney Summit. And what category is it? Post 90 day, upcoming 90 days to end of 2026. Okay. The next one, let's have a look at Lex Summit, for example. Filevine user conference. Here we go. And if we scroll all the way across, we have Event Manager at Filevine. So you can see here, we're pulling in the right events. We can continue to QA it. Say if it's coming out as true for flagship, but it's actually false, we can update the prompt. Say if it's coming out as a high event relevance when it should be low, we can again update the prompt. So again, like the information we feed into AI and the guardrails determine how good the data is. But you can see here from this random selection that it's pretty good, right? And so what do we want to do now? Well, we can filter by top of mind category. So is it a near-term upcoming event? Is it post 90-day event? Is it a recent event? Although we've not run enough rows yet to know, because we've only run, I think, the first, let's have a look, first 30 rows or so. But we can go back, filter by corporate, filter by top of mind category, and then we can run different campaigns. So you can see here for a recent event in the last 4 weeks and say, hey, first name, saw you recently ran event name last month. How did it go? Then we go on to the point of the message. Or current event could be, hey, first name, see you in the middle of running event name. Imagine it's a busy time right now. We'll make this quick. Near term upcoming, so 30 days to 90 days, that could be, hey, first name, imagine you're ramping up for event name right now. That right? 2026 events at 90 days plus could be, hey, first name, some big events lined up this year, like event name and event month. So you can see here that if we're selling event management software, we're actually starting with relevance. Like we've done some research, we've figured out that you're running events. So we are reaching out to you to see if you're interested in event management software. Okay, so this is real relevance, but we're going that step further by categorizing by the top of mind category. Okay, because what we don't want to do is they're thinking about a previous event and we start talking about an upcoming event. We want to be digging into what is top of mind right now. So I hope that helped. Any questions, add to the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.